I read verses 15 and 16. And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. He that believeth not shall be damned. Acts chapter 1 verse 8. Acts chapter 1 verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you. Ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the utmost part of the earth. I want to talk to you this morning on what I title willingness to take over the earth on the strength of holiness. Willingness, readiness of the mind. Willingness to take over this earth on the strength of holiness. Brothers and sisters, this holiness must be spread in all nook and cranny of your state. As a sense of what has taken place today, a garment of holiness, as you just came up and stood there, that was where your measurement was taken, and it was sewn immediately, brought back to you, put it on you, and it fitted every one of you. Nobody own is oversized. As you just stood here, the measurement is taken, went sent back, sew it, brought it, put it on you, adjusted it to make sure it fits you well. You first of all test the experience. Then you take it back to your state. We must take with us this holiness and spread it until every creature, human being that reside in your state hear about holiness. Take it to the drunken joint. Take it to the smoking joint. Use your women in your church. Take it to the brothels. I hope you are following me. I said, take it to the drunken joint. Drinking joint. Take it to the smoking joint. When he gets to take it to the process, I say, send your women. I didn't say you should go. Huh? You know why I drum it? Some people will just hear something faintly, and tomorrow the person becomes sense. He says, "But you are the one that said we should go." I didn't say you should go to the brothel. You send your women. Samson, whenever he entered Delilah's lap, doesn't return back home. We are here to be made partakers of this divine nature and then spread it until every human being that resides in our state hear about it and experience it. It is a task that must be accomplished. Failure to do so, heaven will hold us responsible. You saw what was handed over to you? License. As it is now, your voice is the only authority in your state. You must protect it. Adam was careless. He lost it. Adam was careless. A little stain on that garment, you lose all. Once the garment is affected, the license automatically is withdrawn. It's a spiritual thing. Some of you, I don't know whether there is any of you that saw it. As I just came down, they brought it with your name. Each one I gave you is your name on it. Just like this document that CAC gives a man when you register a business. You're given a license to operate. Anyone you allow in your state is the one that will make noise. Spread it. Spread it. Spread it. The topic says willingness. The key that get this work done. A man that seeks for comfort cannot do this work. A man that seeks for benefit cannot do this work. A man that seeks for monetary gain will compromise the standard of holiness. A man who is not convinced enough that this is the only business I came on earth to do cannot do this business. If you are looking for money, you are in a wrong place. Does it mean we're going to be poor? I told you on Monday, people will write an application to be members of Kingdom Power. People will write applications to be members of Kingdom Power. All that I am saying is that don't put money in your front. Do not allow money to be the reason you are here. You will not last. You will get out of the way. Situation will throw you out. You will not last. You will not last. You can't serve God and mammon at the same time. You can't serve God and mammon at the same time. One must stand out. One collapse. Go back and take your state for Jesus. Go back to that state and make sure everyone there hear this good news that holiness is now a possibility. Go back to that state and confront all those self-appointed preachers with a message of holiness. Go back to that state and throw this bomb at them. The message of holiness is a bomb of annihilation to self-appointed preachers. Go back to that your state and confront the commercial preachers with a message of holiness. Go back to your state and confront occultic preachers with a message of holiness. They cannot withstand it. Silence the enemies of the gospel in your state with a message of holiness. Rebuke them with holiness. Do not keep silence until holiness cover your state, even as the water covers the sea. Don't keep quiet. We have a great rewarder. great Father. In my relationship with this great God, I've been amazed. Sometimes I will be forced. I say, sir, I didn't know you were like this. But what they told us about you, he said, who is telling you? Do they know me? He's a great rewarder. He reward each effort you made for the sake of heaven and holiness. Each effort you made is rewarded by him. And the reward outweigh your efforts. Your reward outweigh your efforts. When I was pursuing this journey, I just have the heart to love this God. Sincerely, as a preacher, I did not know that all that has come out of this journey will come. I just love God. I was motivated by injuries inflicted on his body. When I go to church, to the back, you will see the faces of people that claim to be children of God, frustrated, forsaken. There's nothing to write home about each of them. You look at what they put on, trace them to where they live, stay by the corner and listen to their discussions. One of the day, I told myself, if this is the gospel redemption that Jesus brought, then you need to come and die again. This one, I never deceived myself. This one, this is not the gospel. This is not redemption. And that instill hunger in my spirit. I want to know whether this is the redemption that heaven brought or not. And I began to pursue. I began to travel. I began to move, searching, reading, praying. Lord, I want to know, is this all? Gospel with poverty? Gospel with hunger? Gospel with affliction? Gospel with disease? Gospel with premature death? No. It is that journey that gave birth to what is called kingdom power. What is kingdom power? What is kingdom power? Kingdom power is God. God is kingdom power. What does he tell you? In my search, in my seeking, I found him. That's why there is kingdom power. There is no place on earth you will see him conducting service by himself. No place on earth. If you have seen, you tell me. If you have read, you tell me. No place on earth you will see him conducting services by himself. Because I went seeking. Is this? No. I didn't have all the knowledge. As a young convert, my knowledge was limited. But there was hunger in me. And sincere, listen to this. I was ready to pay any price. Sincerely. Was ready to pay any price to get to that, to get what I was seeking for. Sometimes I make mistake, not sin. Mistake I was making is unavoidable mistake, because I was treading on a road that no human being has tread before, so nobody will give me direction. And eventually, I found God. And because I found God, God found you, brought you to me. We gave you a little training. Now, I sent you to the state where you are to carry this same God and give them. Each of you seated here, before you left, the state where you find yourself was engrossed with horrible darkness. Each of you now, look at the state where you are. Look at the picture here. Matthew chapter 4. Matthew chapter 4. The land, that's your state there. They may call it Zebulun. The land, Naphtali, they may call it, that's your state there. By the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentile, the people who sat in darkness. The people who sat in the region and shadow of death. These are people. These are the state where you are. They sit in darkness, horrible darkness. They were enveloped and surrounded with death. Don't you see? He Onitsha, we spoke some time ago in his state at Onitsha there. A woman went for vigil in her church, and right in the vigil, my head, my head, my head, my head. She died in the church, and the helpless pastor was crying. He called the state of his leader, general overseer, as they call themselves. The man said, "Don't disturb me. I'm preparing for vigil," whatever they told him. And a woman that went for vigil was covered with a wrapper in a room, stone dead. And the vigil was going on. That tells you that state, that Onitsha commercial center in Anambra State, is seated in the region of death. A place of traders is a place of high occultic powers. Traders travel to any length to sell their goods. Those men are depending on you. Have you given them what they need? No. That's why you see people that say they are preachers spreading money. I brought him here. He said, "Why are you disturbing me? Did I tell them I'm a preacher? How can somebody enter a place where they are playing a traditional music and spreading money, and he says go to church?" He knows he's not a Christian. And you allowed him. People are being used for sacrifice. Each passing day was the reason why you are there. The people of your state, they are engrossed with darkness, and they sit in the region and the shadow of death. Each passing day, they are crying, "Oh God, when will this light shine?" passing day. All of you. Port Harcourt, you know how many people was killed at Obibo last year? Youths wasted away. Imo State, how many people are killed by what they call on? Who tell you the Onongo mem? What are you doing there? Unmask them. They put a mask. Unmask them. Do you want me to tell you the name of people killing them? I know them. Unmask them. So the number that died, the prison they broke, the police station they burnt. So the people that died at Olu. When you see this thing happening, they are beckoning at you. Show us light. Give us light. Who wants to die? Who wants to be wasted away? Edo State, when you see processions going around, when you see people telling people they are giving them free food, it is transactions of destiny. Stop that nonsense. Halt it. The message of holiness. Attack them. There was a day they attacked you. Their disciples called you and they went to meet him. When they finished, they reported to him. Their meeting, they said, this man is a barrier to us. We have invited him to be part of us. He refused. We're going to squeeze him and throw him inside the river. I said, okay, do it. Do it. Attack them with the only thing they cannot handle is holiness. Take it and spread it. I've taken our sheep for you. It's you that we go there and do the harvesting. I take it for you. I take our sheep for you. Osun State, don't you see what your son is doing there? Don't you see? Don't you see how that state is sinking and sinking every day? We brought him here on Saturday. Am I correct? Is it Saturday or Sunday? Brought him here. They came. The marine of Osun River. The marine of Maryland, where preachers go to fornicate with python. And the marine of Seme River. We brought them here. On Sunday. As it is now, if those of them that go to that river to worship, the day their prayer will be answered, they will come and consult me. Their python is in my belly. These people sit. When you see the king going and people are doing whatever they are doing, that is display of darkness. They need to be free. They need to be delivered. Nobody likes it, but you will see them following because they have no option. They are waiting for someone that will spread the light for them. Men are dying. Souls are perishing. Men alanda gado ozuda da da da. I need men that have the burden of soul in them. I'm yet to see such men. I'm yet to see such men that their own lives do not matter to them anymore. Men, the pleasures of life do not matter to them anymore. Men that fully and completely detached themselves from anybody on earth. I need men I need men that have burden of soul. If I have such men seated here with me this morning, some of these states would have been under our care. I need men that weep, not because they are hungry, but because sinners are dying. I need men that know the word of soul. I need men that because of the burden of soul, they will block the gate of hell, the route that the state where he is passes through to hell, and block it and says, why am I in this state? If a single soul, you still go to hell. I need men that will do that. I need men that will hold me on my waist and says, as you run, we follow you. Why the dark world hated me with passion was blocking the gate of hell. They lament each day here. Nobody goes there again. I need men. Now the content of the prayer is, oh God, nobody in my state must go to hell. I need men. That when you go to the place of the prayer, you will see the river, the flood that gather because of their tears. I need men that can cry like John Knox. Lord, give me my state or you kill me. What am I living for? If souls still go to hell. A group of people gather for revival, and they say, God, use us or you kill us. God, two things must happen. Either you use me to save sinners or you kill me. I need men that have broken hearts. When they see a lady dressed with trousers, men, when you see a woman with a weave on, because the temple that's supposed to be of God is being desecrated, and Python is using it. I need men. Though they walk the earth, but their hearts is fixed in heaven. And always they're telling Jesus, count on me. Your price, your sacrifice. As long as I am in this state, we no more be in vain. I need men that will give me an assurance, not by the content of your word, but by the evidence of your efforts in this state. Among you here, I need men I can trust by your efforts. Since 3 years ago, New York has been waiting for me. Last 3 weeks or so, the lady called me and she was crying. Been waiting for us. Since last year, UK is waiting for us. Because we had that open already at US. That lady that came down from US, from Texas to this place, God will prompt him. She relocated to UK and says, sir, brothers and sisters, I need a man. I need men that will show me that they are not living for anything on this earth, but for soul. I need to pick them and get them ready. By seeing your report, I say, oh, send us your passport. I need men. Eastern Europe is ready, waiting for kingdom power. I need men. Australia is ready, waiting for kingdom power. I need men. I need men. There are sleeping thoughts and there are waking thoughts. It's how to get so safe. I need men. Nine of you seated here. When will this my searching be over? Have I not cried enough? Have I not cried enough? How will you want me to keep crying? Asking God for one thing. Have I not cried enough? Why can't you show me? By the weight, the fruit of your effort. Sir, I am that man. Sir, I am that man. If there is nobody that will wipe your tears away, I want to be that person. I am that man. How long will I keep crying? Are you happy? Are you happy? When I told you, I don't know when last I take my breakfast. Are you happy? And I told you, I don't know when last I took my lunch. Sometimes, without taking this breakfast and lunch, she will make some effort in the kitchen in the night. She'll bring food. She will call me. And I get there and look at the food. My appetite will close. Sometimes I will look at her, this woman. How will she feel? I'll touch it. I'll touch it. She will relax. At least she's eating today. I'll ask her, give me that water. What? I want to wash my hand. Sometimes she will cry in frustration. You don't allow me to eat in this house. When will this be over? When will any of you here allowed me to sit on the dining table in the morning and I ask her, give me food? There is a song that has made me happy. And this day and this week, I will take my breakfast. Will I keep crying? Sometimes on Sunday, when you are report, some of you that even say some of you are not even submit. I look up and say, God, 2 years, 3 years, a year plus. Spread the gospel. I suppose that I'm supposed to believe I've cried enough. I'm supposed to believe I've cried enough. For one of you to say, sir, I don't want anybody to send me handkerchief. I don't need your handkerchief. I don't want any of you to call me on phone and say, sir, stop crying. I don't need it. I need evidence. And I will turn. It's me that will call you and say, son, you are a son of consolation to me. You have consoled me. You have wiped my tears away. Do not keep silence until holiness cover your states. Ring the bell of holiness as Orthodox rang it in days gone by, early in the morning, as a means to wake the people up. Ring the bell of holiness in your state. My daughter reminded me yesterday that this coming Sunday is 17th of April, the day Kingdom Power become 4 years. I've cried a number of years before Kingdom Power was given birth to. And as we came here, I keep crying and crying and crying. Will it not be good news that on this Sunday, the 4th year of Kingdom Power, that these tears will wipe off? Because there is a voice ringing the bell of holiness in that particular state. My God. Don't you know what you have? Don't you know what you have? There's a boy that came to this church through him. Richard, poor boy. When he came, we released the grace on him. And I told him one-on-one, I'll carry you and place you where you're going. And things started happening. And pride entered his heart. He felt he can do it without us. And he left. I shut the door. He told me a story yesterday. The young man called him and told him, indeed, there is no good pastor. I wondered. Told him this is 1 year I left Kingdom Power and I've been wondering about. And he asked him a question. Have you closed a deal since that 1 year? He said no. Don't you know what you have? Why are you slow? If you know what you have. got up and doing if you know what you have? Tell me the name of a major church in your state. I will tell you the demon he serve. Mention it. I'll tell you the demon that leader serve. Why are you quiet? Is that not a concern in your spirit? Carest thou not the souls are perishing? Don't you care? That church is a lawless place today. If you care, the souls are dying. You will never talk about hunger. If the number of souls that died in your state, you are by the express road and you are in Anambra State, how many ambulances pass over the road every day that carry corpse? How do you feel? We see those ambulances passing. How do you feel? If you have the heart of Jesus and the food is set before you and you see that soul going to hopeless eternity, even if you have taken something with your hand, it will drop off. You will ask, what suppose I to do that I didn't do, that this soul is now going to hell? What and how will Jesus be feeling now? Are you aware that each person that goes to hell, part of God have lost for eternity? Part of you have lost. What kind of a child are you? You see your father's property being messed up by a total stranger, and the only thing that you are caring about is food. Then we need to take you to hospital, inside laboratory. Let them examine your DNA, whether you are a legitimate child, because no legitimate child will be unconcerned when the business of his father is being plundered by total strangers. I am burning in my spirit. Ring this bell in the morning. Ring this bell in the noon. Ring this bell in the evening. Ring this bell in the midnight. The bell of holiness. Let holiness form the heart of every message that you preach. Take this good news back to your state. The original purity that man was created with, which was lost at the Garden of Eden, but has been restored back. You must have heard my message. It is of you that follows us on the 29th, on the last Sunday of March, when I went back to history, that 7th of March is a historical date. As long as eternity is concerned today, that was the day it was plainly, practically restored back to humanity. Whatever date, like the one that took place today, historical date is that 7th of March. That date swallowed the ugly incident that took place at the Garden of Eden. That day messed up Lucifer and the entire dark world. Spread the news. Take it with you. Sound it loud and clear. Let the deaf hear you. Let the blind see you. Spread it. Spread it. Spread it. Spread it. Let no single soul in your state be ignorant of this. Let demonic, satanic pastors that are in your state fight you because of holiness. Shout about holiness until every soul in your state hear about it. Do not keep quiet until everyone receive it. Do not think of taking vacation until holiness spread like morning dew all over your state. Do not take your breakfast until someone is told about holiness. Do not retire back to your bed if someone did not hear about holiness. Do not close your eyes if someone do not spread his hands in jubilation at the dove of the morning, because of the joy of holiness that is restored back unto him. Make the message of holiness flow from the last word of your state up until it covers your state capital. Message of holiness. Have what it takes to quench the flames of occultism that is ravaging your state. The message of holiness has what it takes to put out the destructive tendencies of banditry and terrorism in your state. The message of holiness has what it takes to quench annihilating fire of unknown gunmen. The message of holiness is anti-corruption. With it, we will clean up a nation from corruption. The message of holiness will end the witchcraft activities in your state. There is no weapon under the universe that is stronger than the weapon of holiness. Every other weapon collapse in front of the weapon of holiness. It is being tested and approved. Spread it. It will take Goliath off the stage. Message of holiness. It will silence the voice of Balaam's the false prophets. It will put out the destructive fire of Nebuchadnezzar. It will disgrace Herod. It will make Joseph Lord to Pharaoh. It will crown David to become a king without any political party. Message of holiness have not lost its power, but it has lost convinced men that will spread it without looking back. Message of holiness is as powerful as ever before. In the days of old, it divided the Red Sea for the redeemed of the Lord to go through. The message of holiness still have what it takes to preserve the redeemed as they go through the world into eternity. Holiness. Preacher, holiness. Ambassador, holiness. Missionary is all that you need if you must win as a preacher. They will come to convince you, they will come to discourage you, they will come to whatever holiness do not give you, you don't need it. Whatever that do not come through the channel of holiness is not for you. Whatever gift that comes to you as a missionary, look through that gift with a lens of heaven. If it lack holiness, throw that gift to dog. Holiness. 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 How many of you here as missionaries knows that everything you will ever need in ministry and in life is in holiness? Compromise with holiness will earn you premature death. When you as a missionary compromise holiness, God will become your enemy. Spread the good news. Let it flow like a flood that will cover your state. Drown your state in the ocean of holiness. Do not be distracted. Always be focused. You carry something was handed over to you, and you were asked, go and plant it in your state. Something was handed over to you, and you were told, take this, go and plant it in your state. Spread the gospel. Spread good news. Spread the gospel. Preach it until no one will be ignorant of holiness in your entire state. Preach holiness until it creates horrible confusion among the Christian body of your state. What your state needs is nothing but holiness. Just like Nigeria. Nigeria do not need an economist. Nigeria do not need Martin Luther King Jr. Nigeria need is holiness. That's why you see the steps we are taking. That's why you see the steps we are taking. Because when a righteous man is in authority, the people will rejoice. Righteousness exalts a nation, and sin is a reproach. So you see the steps we are taking. What if the person get there and say, I've gotten power? Who kill the person there? Have you read about Paul? And he tell you that it's a sword in his hand. The sword is both to make life and to kill. Sometimes you ask yourself a question: how can this man just call a total stranger something like this? We're not afraid. We have the power to give, have the power to take at will. You'll be celebrated when it is given to you. You will not know when it is taken back from you. Just like a story I told you. When that young man was here, this is all that I did. And he entered my tunnel. That's all. I don't need to stress myself. One brought his complimentary card here. I didn't pray on that. I just kept it on this table. And he got a place that men were bribing their way to be supplying goods, and they rejected them and gave it. They walked to his shop, was waiting for him. People were calling, they were calling him, he was playing, they were waiting for the supply. Later he left. He went there, they chased him away. He asked somebody, what did you tell them about me? He said, I didn't tell them anything. The aim. Listen to this. The day a kingdom citizen will climb physically, which has taken place at Asorok, that same day, he will tell the entire world the amount we have in life, the building we have in life. After 4 years, if anything is added to his salary, we'll kill him. I want to tell people that gaining power is not for you to enrich yourself at the detriment of the citizens. Look at all of them that robbed Nigeria. Are they well? You can't eat what belongs to public and will not suffer public calamity. Want to entrench righteousness, and we are going to put it into the constitution of Nigeria. As you enter, you declare your access public. As you are going, declare your access, and anywhere on earth we see anything that is not according to your salary, they keep their salary. Even the toilet roll they use in their bedroom is being provided by the nation. They can save their salary, save their allowances, and every other thing. We'll put it in the constitution. After you leave office, 10 years after you leave, and we later discover in Nigeria, any part of the world you have property, firing squad to be in the constitution of Nigeria. Firing squad. Nigeria will see righteousness. That's what we're doing. And the moment we enter, we'll go back 1960. Pick the report of Nigeria. Whether you are alive whether you are dead, will probe you. How many of you now like this seat? That's what we're going. We're not going there to continue with the way it is. No. Going there to set a standard. In that 4 years, we'll decentralize government, empower states. If you cannot, it's going to enter constitution. If you cannot fend for yourself as a state, merge with your neighboring state. No more every month state governors will carry plates. Bahabiara, Abuja. No. Rich states be rich. Poor state be poor. We're coming. We have a blueprint of heaven. Coming to set a standard. The only thing that men of honor, we only climb that seat because of honor and power, dignity, not because of money. Look at them that embezzle money. Are they well? They are sick. Look at the one we brought here the other day. He said, "Are you laughing at me because of my infirmity?" That's what he was. Do you know how much that man packed? But it's all we are packed. Just watch him before he died. That house will be sold. You know, some of you are not following this warfare we're going through. We're carrying out here. Righteousness way. That's what we're doing. We are moving like this from Asorok. We are going to descend to local government. Righteousness everywhere. What we're coming for. That's why, if you are not convinced, you're not going to be part of kingdom power. Is going to put a man at the United Nations seat tomorrow. That's why some of you are calling money. Money. The kingdom power citizen talking about money. That person is myopic, hyper myopic. Money, what is money? Money is our slave in kingdom power. Money is our slave in kingdom power. Inside our warehouse, we have to print in it. This is the generation that will experience the government of heaven on earth. Theocracy will return back on earth. That's where we are going. If you're watching and the dark world are confused, is it millennial reign? Is it 1,000 years experience? They are confused on where we are and where we are going. But the question is, you that will serve as an agent, are you convinced? I saw when I began to describe our program for Asorok, I saw many of you are quaking. Because some of you think when you get there, you will carry billion like Obasanjo carry. You carry billion like Buhari and Babangida carry. No. Any 1 naira that is meant for public must serve public interests. It is when we stand like that, we can call men and ask them, question, that building there, is it your salary? Return it back. Our probing is that we are going to probe you how many years you serve. We are going to use calculator. Calculate your salary. 10 naira over your salary you will give us, and you go to prison, serve for 10 naira prison. We are coming. Sulu, we are coming. We are coming. state will experience. This is generation that POS operator will become a commissioner of finance of a state. A teacher will become minister of education. Those are people that have something upstairs. These politicians do not have anything. Some of them do not even know their name. During the Obasanjo regime, an ambassador to Togo was called at National Assembly to sing Nigerian national anthem. He didn't know how to sing it. He was called to tell us the full meaning of need. Obasanjo program. He didn't know the full meaning. Can we go the journey? People are afraid already. People are afraid already. When we enter Asrock, we are going to abolish office of first lady and put it in constitution. It's not there. It is a channel of embezzlement. We are coming. We are coming. We are doing what? We are coming. We are coming. God loved this country so much to begin this move in this country. The nations of the earth will come down to Nigeria to learn what happened. Some of our people were going to put there after they finish serving 8 years. Some other country will come and hire them. Come and be our president. Replicate the same thing we see in Nigeria in our country. People have not seen the program of heaven for kingdom. That's why when some of you say, oh, money, I look at the person and say, fool. You know the program of heaven. If they ask you to be lying, sleeping on that street, not even inside this gate, sleep there, under rain, under sun, you will sleep. Just to be part of this great move. I told you on Monday, a time will come. On a free day that is not service day, men and women will queue at the gate where we are going, where we're going to be at that time, with their applications in their hand. I want to serve in kingdom power. I want to serve in kingdom power. That is the time we're going to, because the secretary we have now does not even know that she's a secretary. So we're going to know. We are coming. We are coming. Make sure you spread this news. Are you aware that today, any person that goes to Asarok and practice evil will be uncomfortable there? Don't you see what is happening there? We have cleaned it up. You know what we destroy there? Lion, crocodile, python, this one, that place. The last is not that Asoro, that rock itself. We enter into it, and you see different chambers in it. If you know. That's why sometimes there was a day, a Monday, when this program began, why I started singing. Some of you saw when I lay down here, I was broken. That's why the Lord just came and picked me, we enter inside. I was broken. If we know the program that heaven have for kingdom power, you will never be distracted. What have we done? Where aside from these canopies we put in outside, no human being are coming and all that, no structure as it's supposed to be, and other things. Now the person that left is kneeling down begging us You want to come back. You saw it yesterday. What if this glory show forth? People will commit suicide in their home with the suicide notes written. Those of you that are alive, don't be like me. I left Kingdom Power. I can't withstand the shame. Suicide notes. Suicide notes. That was why I brought him yesterday. For you to see. For you to hear. They will come your way. They will come. They will come your way. You heard him yesterday. Because he was looking for people. He want to take over nations. He has not taken over himself. He want to take over nations. People that he can take over. Oh my God. The worst thing that will happen to a man is to enter a boat with Jonah. Somebody that God is pursuing. Some of you were lucky you didn't follow him. If you follow him, we didn't lose anything now. We didn't lose anything. We're looking, watching. And you know, once you depart, you don't go party again. Are you aware of that grammar? You're aware of it. Once you depart, you don't go party again. Once we tell you good night, we will never greet you good morning anymore. Because I do not know what the person have in mind to come and do at the second missionary journey. I didn't corner them very well. I made a mistake. I didn't disciple people very well. Let me go and do it well. That's why we will not accommodate the person again. The person may have clean mind, but human beings are undependable. Brothers and sisters, this holiness must be spread. This is what your state needs, as I told you. Give it to them because they need salvation. It is their right to be saved. Nobody, no human being was created and allocated a portion in hellfire. Hellfire was never a portion for any human being. So it's their right to be saved so that they can return back to the paths they have missed. Take this holiness. I'm happy. It has happened to you now physically. You can talk about it. You can beat your chest and say, yes, I was part of it. The garment is given to you. The license is given to you. Now it's with you. Take it with you. And spread it across the breadth and the length of your state as soon as you get back. Don't delay. No time to rest. If you get there in the evening, storm your street. Storm your street. As soon as you get back to your street, make sure you hand it over to one person, 2 people, 3 people, groups of people. Much earlier, go to market with your equipment. Spread the good news. Set this fire on and let it keep burning. Turn the message of holiness to become a powerful flood that will clean up your state of the darts It has generated from the foundation when your state was founded. It's you, your duty to do that. When we came here, this land was a land that ate up the inhabitants. This land. But today, this land is one of the most glorious land on earth as it stands today. There were enemies they employed to come and attack me. They gave them false information. And as they came here, our father just brought this land when we came. And they were shocked. They brought the land now. They turn, they look at me. They say, oh, so this man is a good man. So he's fighting for us. And they deceived us. They told us things that is not the way it is. Oh, thank God we came. One was empowered to come with his soldiers and come and destroy us and all that. He collected the money. He went on investigations spiritually. And the day that person that paid him was, I invited him. And he came. He told her, he said, me, you are looking for who to kill. I went and do research about this man. All that you reported was not so. But can I tell you, based on my findings, if it is so, I will not go for this war. I don't want to die. I know I will not go. I collect your money because there was no food at home that day. Children must shop. But the fact is that we have seen that we have turned a land that eat up the inhabitants to a glorious land. That's why you are there in that state. Change that state. I want to tell every one of you now, aside now that heaven has taken it upon themselves to put a man in the affairs of the nation, is not in the hand of politicians. Core politicians will never develop any nation or states. They are self-centered people. They are selfish. You saw the one in Anambra State. As soon as he handed over, why was he running away? How can you hand over just now? And as he got to Lagos here, he didn't have a rest of 1 week because last year they put him on notice. They wrote him, we're investigating you. So he wants that moment also because nobody will think that he's going to run away. So but they capture him. Look at it. What a shame. After 8 years, that same day you step out from executive chair, you enter prison. Think about it. They don't have honor. There is nothing good they will contribute to any state. The hope of your state is in your hand. The hope of this earth is in the hand of kingdom power. Some of you were here when the earth was handed over to us and the CFO of the earth handed over to kingdom power. It is here we that will do it. All previous generations of Christians on earth have disappointed heaven, disappointed the earth, disappointed the humanity, and profited hell. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. But if the change do not start with you, you will not be an agent of change. Holiness. I don't know whether you understand this message called holiness. You can't be holy without humility. You can't be holy without obedience. You can't be holy without being a loving person. The I in you must be crushed if you must be holy. You can't be holy without being near to God. You can't be holy without being enlightened. You can't be holy without being separated. You can't be holy without being in service with God on a regular basis. Rise on your feet. Is there willingness in your heart